Hi, this is Joseph Williams, son of John Williams, and you are watching the Nerf Herder Council.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
You can't use that word. Only we can use that word.
You're tuned in to the Nerf Herder Council, your source for Star Wars opinion, conversation, and debate. Featuring your hosts, JT.
I don't care. It's close enough. I'm not here to be accurate, god damn it. I'm here to just say it.
AJ.
They literally sneak out by hiding a girl under a giant trench coat like a Three Stooges gag. What the f***, Disney Plus? Come on now.
On this episode of the Nerf Herder Council, in space, they can't hear you scream. On Earth, they can probably hear you scream, but you can definitely hear us giving our review of the first two episodes of Alien Earth. This is the Nerf Herder Council. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. I am your host, JT. We are live on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel, and also the Facebook page and YouTube channel of the Virtual Cantina Network. We are at those locations every other Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. As always, guys, we are brought to you by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/NHC for your 30-day trial and a free audiobook download. If you are watching on either YouTube channel and have not done so already, please click the like button, click the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time we go live. If you would like to get some awesome Virtual Cantina Network swag, just go to tpublic.com/user/virtual-cantina. And for some kick-ass customizable Nerf Herder Council gear, just go to shop.nerfherdercouncil.com. All right, guys, fingers crossed. Poor AJ switched internet providers a few weeks ago, and it's been giving him nothing but fits. So he just got in the background here. So we're hoping his microphone works. He is not the biggest fan of AT&T. So real quick, I'm going to get to this before AJ. The views of the Nerf Herder Council do not necessarily reflect those of the Virtual Cantina Network, and there could be some bad language on our show, excuse me. So if you don't like, shitty screw ups like that where I flub an intro, well, this may not be the show for you. Also, on this particular episode, there will be plenty of spoilers. So if you have not seen the first two episodes of Alien Earth on Hulu, number one, you got to do it. We'll get to that in a minute. But number two, there will be spoilers. So if you're trying to remain spoiler free, this is not the show for you. All right, without further ado, with his fingers and toes all crossed, it is my best friend and my brother, AJ. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's all right, man. How you doing?
Look, I'm doing good. You look good with the green, and you sound good. So all's well that ends well. I feel bad for you
So far.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, man. No, I'd love to give credit to the new internet provider, but that was like 2 or 3 months ago.
What's up,
it just
AJ?
so happens that every Wednesday it decides to take a dump. I don't know why. It's the worst timing possible, but of course, that kind of goes for the show, so why not?
Right. Horsehead, thanks for tuning in. Says F disclaimers. We could say fuck on this show. Fuck disclaimers, but we are required to do so. Nick Hall says, good evening, all. Great to see you, bro. Mumbo Jimbo says, absolutely loved the first two episodes of Alien Earth. And we got a bunch of music chat going in here so far, but the shows are crossing over. But
Oh boy.
yeah, this show is a lot of black, blue, and green tonight. So full disclosure, and you can feel free to spoil for me because obviously I am going to watch, but I was not able to get through the second episode fully. I've got about 15 minutes left. So
Everybody dies. It's a very short series.
All right. On that note, we'll close up shop.
Yep. Told you there were spoilers.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. So yeah, so feel free to spoil it for me. Yeah. Horsehead, we here at the VCN appreciate a good F-bomb on the regular. Nice. Oh my gosh. Oh, Sherrick, good to see you, man. Our friend of show, Sherrick, who's been on a few times, says, so far it's living up to my expectations. Loved it. Hope you guys did also. Miranda Helmet, great to see you as always. She says, I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, a little background here. I know that, Chris Mocht and I have talked Alien and stuff like that. It's kind of a family joke, at least over in my household with Alien. I personally, for me, the first Alien film is the scariest damn thing I've ever seen. It's the movie that scared me. It scared me the most. And my wife said, "Oh, you're such a wuss. Like, that's not scary at all. Ghost movies are scary." I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay." Because ghosts are more legitimate than actual alien life forms elsewhere in the galaxy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's good. So, that being said, like, Aliens was also pretty creepy, but I saw it when I was young, obviously, so I was still kind of creeped out by the first one. And ever since then, the only thing that really captured like the real kind of like, ice water in your, scrotum feeling of those, especially the first one for me was that video game.
Just saying.
Well, what was Dad's old
Alien
saying?
Isolation?
Yeah, exactly. Alien Isolation. What did Dad you say? It chills your piss. It's yeah. Alien Isolation is really the only thing since Aliens that really captured the original vibe, the creepiness, like the actual terror of the thing. But I liked, most of the other movies. I mean, they're hit or miss, some, more than others. So I am a fan of the franchise. Mm-hmm. And admittedly, I had completely forgotten that this was a thing until you suggested this as a show topic a few days ago. So
yeah, it kind of snuck up on us, didn't it? It was one of those things where, like, I heard the show announced a long time ago, and then it just fell off my radar. I don't know if they were doing teasers ahead of time to build up hype or not, but I caught something on, I don't know, Facebook or Instagram or something. I saw an ad that said, like, next week, Alien Earth. I was like, oh shit, that's happening already. Awesome.
Yeah. I was aware of it. I didn't have it. I usually have stuff like this in my calendar, so I know when it's debuting, and I didn't have this one in there for some reason. Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm getting called out anyway. First of all, Horsehead says, I saw the first episode of the El Capitan on Monday. Great premise. Chastity Crawley, always great to see you, says, ghosts exist, punk. Kale McLeish, awesome to see you as always, bro. He says, haunting you versus absolutely destroying your ass. Yeah, I think I know which one scares me more. Nice.
Might want to check that phrasing, Kale.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, all right. So that's the background for me. I'm a fan of the series. Obviously, I think pretty much everybody is in agreement that the pinnacle was the first 2, which is kind of weird to say that, that everything has been less since 1986. But where do you stand on the Alien franchise? I'll go anytime there's an Alien movie or a show. I'm watching it right away. So what about you?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Like, this is one of those franchises that, much like Terminator, the first 2 were so good that they can always make more because everyone will always want to see if they can return to their former glory. I feel like Alien has had more success than Terminator at doing so, but it's definitely one of those things where we know the premise is cool and we just keep wanting more of those first 2. And finally, they've gotten smart. It seems like with Alien Romulus and now this show, they've really just kind of forgotten that Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection exist.
Yeah.
And the Prometheus movies, which officially there was only one, but Alien Covenant is Prometheus 2. They just kind of sweep that under the rug, forget about that stuff. That's over here somewhere. That's beta canon now.
Right.
And just try to go back and replicate what worked in the first 2, right down to Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation is a perfect example of, like, we're going to put that, what is that, between Alien 1 and 2?
I'm not sure what by the way, Luke, great to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in. We'll hopefully see you next week on TII. I'm not well, no, it's after, it would have to be, I think it's after Aliens. because
Well, isn't
I know
it Ripley's daughter going looking for her?
yeah, exactly.
So wouldn't she still like be? I think Ripley's on her way back to Earth at this point in cryo sleep when that game takes place.
Yeah, let me okay. Alien Isolation takes place in the year 2137, 15 years after the events of the movie Alien. Okay. So it is between. Okay. I was never sure about that.
This brings me to one of my first questions, which is the timeline. I'm not really clear on it. I feel like they're kind of penned in by the dates that were set in the original movies that seemed far enough out to be plausible. But then as soon as you start introducing prequels, you're like, well, that's getting really close to now.
Yeah.
And especially with the cryo sleep thing, we're like, oh, it takes 65 years. Like, all right. So basically what, in like 14 years from now, we're going to be launching spaceships into deep space. I mean, I don't even know how the math all works out, but I know that this show takes place in 2120. So this is only 100 years from now. And we've already got corporations that own continents, and previous deep space missions have already happened, come back, and now they've launched another set of them at least.
Yes.
Right. So sure. Okay. We'll go with it. It's like Star Trek, where, supposedly Khan was in the 1990s, because that was the far flung future from 1966. Right. So,
right. Well, or what was it? Was it like Back to the Future 2 was like this year or something, or within the last couple of years or something like that, or 2015, whatever
2015.
it was. Yeah. 2015. Yeah.
Where's my damn hoverboard?
Yeah, damn you. I want my jacket is dry. Like, I need that stuff, man, for when I'm golfing.
Right.
So, all right. So, so we're both big fans of this, of the Alien series. So, which is a good place to start. That being said, I am objective about it. Again, I think we recognize there's been some stumbles along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Initial first impression of these two episodes, and again, I still have to finish, the last little bit of the second one. I'm loving it so far. I know that it's a little derivative of the first film, I guess, for the first bit of the first episode. Kind of matches the story beats and stuff and the look and it, but I still love it. I mean, because it actually has that creepy vibe to it. Like this goes back to that, edge of your seat kind of feeling that those first two movies gave you, which I like. Now, I mean, we'll see where it goes, because once you get off the ship and out of the building and all that kind of stuff, like, is the alien concept going to work well in like an open meadow with butterflies and hummingbirds and shit flying around? Like, can it exist in an environment with light? And, that's not claustrophobic. We'll find out. I would assume, but yeah, I'm loving it so far. I'm really loving it so far. Where do you stand? What's your initial impression, generically?
Like you said, I think they nailed the tone right off the bat. I mean, ripping off the first movie was kind of a stroke of genius, really. I mean, it's like, I don't know. People say that and they say like, oh, it's derivative. It just looks like they're rehashing the first movie, but it's like tuning into Star Wars and being like, oh, well, of course that Imperial ship looks just like the Star Destroyer we've already seen in this other movie. What a callback. Like,
yeah,
no, I mean, that's the way ships look. So of course the Maginot looks just like the Nostromo. Like,
yeah,
it's made by the same company in the same time period. It's just another one that rolled off the assembly line. So I totally get that. Right down to even like, dude gets out of the cryo chamber and immediately lights up a cigarette. Which,
yeah,
holy shit, isn't it weird to see smoking on TV in 2025? but it totally puts it in like that late 70s vibe where like, yeah, people smoked, no one cared. So I liked it, and I liked the way they fast forwarded kind of through the events of what happened on the ship. So rather than just like retelling the first movie, they're like, here's a bunch of smash cuts, shit's gonna go sideways, can we just get on with our story, please?
Yeah, no,
so I think they did a good job of like setting the tone, calling back to things, but then being like, all right, let's move on with our story now. I thought that was a really smart touch on their part. Overall, yeah. I think they've hit on the right beats so far to put it in the alien world, but not just make it all about the usual thing, which is xenomorph kills everybody. There's more stuff to it than that, which is But actually, I think it's one of the first times they've done that well. Everything
was where I was going to go
on that,
this.
like, oh, let's start with this. Let's start with Alien Romulus, because we did that review.
Okay.
You remember that movie? That was very callback heavy, right?
Extremely.
Yeah, they had like deep fake Ian Holm as Ash again and everything. Or no, he wasn't Ash. He was someone else. But same
whatever
model. Anyway,
whatever the character was in the first movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that was really like beat for beat retelling and kind of stuff. But it definitely got into the whole like creepy artificial life thing, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that in this one? How they're kind of focusing more on that, and the alien and the different creatures, actually, not just the xenomorph, are just part of the story. Do you like that expansion of the world beyond just like the aliens, the threat?
So far I do. I'm interested to see where it goes, because obviously, they've set up the whole Prodigy versus Utani thing. So you got like, the trillionaire versus trillionaire stuff. So that's kind of interesting. There's a couple different things going on here, So I'll be interested to see how they play that out. I think the way that they have set up expanding it so far has been really good. So I noticed that I really, really like that. I'm gonna say right off the bat, fuck them for killing the cat. Completely unnecessary. I hate that shit. I get it that it's like, a trope in the series that the pet always survives, and they're like, they're gonna break that trope, but you don't have to. Just kill another person, please. You've done a great job of killing people in this. The xenomorph apparently has learned that it's much cooler to absolutely eviscerate people and make, a whole Elizabethan costume party into basically an abattoir. That didn't suck at all.
He's very quick about it too. You notice that it takes like 5 seconds to decimate an entire room.
That is awesome. Miranda set it up in the chat about the gore. Where was it at? Let's see. Yeah. Miranda said, I really like the variety of specimens, and the gore is pretty rad. And you know me, dude, the gorier the better. So when there's like blood flying around and, bodies ripped in half, and like I say, in that Elizabethan party, like the guy who answered the door is crawling across the room, was ripped in half, like going, too much noise. I'm like, yes. Oh, and
He's ripped in half pretty bad.
This is worst
That's
case
the worst
ripped in half I've ever seen. Exactly. Yeah, and I the one part about that real quick, and then we'll keep going, but that I really liked about it, and again, this is just me, but we've seen the alien do like the little mouthing of wow, like just smash people in the face. They never showed actually like a close-up of what exactly damage gets done when that happens, and they did in this. I was like, oh, that rules. And for me, like the reason, the reason I'm into that sort of thing is because I'm not a fan of implied terror. If I don't see something fucked up, it doesn't scare me as much. I'm more scared when I know that I'm going to see somebody get ripped in half or somebody's face explode. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not seeing something scary happening, I'm like, well, what if nothing happened? Like, that's not, I mean, I'm much
I know
more.
We've got. Sorry to cut you off. I know we've got Joseph Friend in the chat, and of course he's got the Fright Lab. So we have a horror movie expert watching the show, and I would love to see in the chat what his opinion is of this, because implied gore, implied consequences is kind of one of like the psychological factors that really works in horror movies' favors, especially classic, because then like you have to imagine what it was, and it draws you in more. I feel like sometimes showing actually decreases the horror factor because you don't have to imagine it anymore.
Well, okay, I understand where you're going, but I can compare it to, this is a bad comparison because the one movie is absolute shit, but the original Alien, once you knew what the alien looked like and you would see it a few times, you're like, holy crap. But like Wes Craven made a movie called They, and you don't see the thing that they until like literally the last like 4 seconds of the movie. And it's the stupidest fucking thing, because you're like, well, what am I scared of? I can't see anything. What the hell? It's just, I wonder what it is. No, that's not scary. It's much worse to actually see the damn thing. I mean, think about it like when you have like a bad wound. If you're not looking at it, you're like, oh, that hurts. And it doesn't really hit your brain until you look down and see that your leg's ripped off. And you're like, uh-oh, yeah, that's really bad. Then the pain kicks in. Then the freak out kicks in. It's okay. It's real.
Yeah, I totally see where you're coming from with that one. That is a very good point, actually.
Okay, so Discuss Metal Joe did give us his opinion. He says, context is everything, AJ. While I will always advocate for the thing you don't see as more damaging to your mind than the thing they show you, this is not the same alien you saw in the 70s. Yeah. He says, sometimes you have to show how brutal Jason's kills are. Yeah. That's
True.
That's why, Hellraiser versus Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, there's not blood. They had to erase it all. Hellraiser, you see the hooks going in the people's flesh and ripping their bodies apart. You're like, ugh. So that it makes it more gross and more visceral. So, yeah. Yep. Kale, yeah. The kid isn't scared of daddy. He's scared of what happens when daddy takes off the belt. See? And I understand tons of people. That's why thrillers are thrillers. I understand that.
I don't know what that example is like. Remember the old thing of like, just wait till your father gets home. Like imagining what hell awaited you when father came home is way more terrifying to a kid than actually whatever actually takes place.
I see where you're saying what you're saying, but it's a difference of I wonder. The difference between I wonder and oh shit, I'm going to get a beating. There's an actual consequence on the line. It's again, it's a reality instead of an implied. I suppose is like the way, the chat's like kicking ass tonight. Let's Aiken, shut up about the cat death. It's not awesome. All right, so we'll just bring up some comments here. Chastity Crawley says, let's write the ending. Now let's figure out who dies, gets attacked, and what blows up to get there. Yep. Kale McLeish says, these hybrids are an interesting concept, though I think the plot is going to border on that a little too much when there's xenomorph fuckery to be had. Sherrick says, I think it's great that it's introducing cyborgs, hybrids, other corporations, and other aliens. It adds more to the lore rather than just a 100% rehash of everything we've already seen. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Jeff Caffrey, great to see you, man. He says, I like the first shots of the xenomorph being somewhat hidden. Yeah, actually, we'll go through some more chat stuff, but then I want to ask you a question about that, AJ, because I actually had a very specific thought about that. So, let's see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and Aiken makes a good point. He says, and which movies are perennially and which movies are perennially bigger? The ones that don't show the raw gore. See, and I'm not as big a fan of those, but I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, that was one of the hallmarks of the original Alien movie and Aliens too, was there was a comment somewhere up here. I think it might've been Miranda commenting about how the alien was hiding in plain sight a couple times.
Yeah. And that's, and then that Jeff's comment.
Love the scene when the alien was within the statue. Didn't Jurassic Park do something similar? Yeah. Yeah. Like a lot of the environments that they put the alien in, Alien 3 did it too. They just blend into the background. So it's what you don't see. And again, like in the first movie, it's always in the dark, it's hiding in a tunnel or something. So you get like a smash cut of it, or just like the contours of it. You don't see it like you're saying, like, will it still be scary in broad daylight? Not as much. Not as much. I don't think so.
No, I agree. I think though, like I said, that comment, and then, Jeff's comment above about, he liked how you barely saw the aliens in the shadows. First question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're showing the alien too much? I have a second part to that once you answer that, but are they already showing it too much? And does it matter?
I think they can get away with showing it a little bit more in this, because as much as they would love to hook new viewers, I think the bulk of the audience has already seen an alien movie of some kind. Yeah. So it's not like the mystery is spoiled already. So they have to like make it look and feel like one of the other ones, but they also have to acknowledge, or they have to make it look and feel like the other ones, but not hide it so much because, well, we've already seen it. Yeah. So that was one of my fun things when I was watching. Were you doing the same thing where, like Miranda's comment about the alien hiding in the statue. Like as soon as I saw the statue without the alien, when he walked past it, I was like, we're going to see that alien hiding in the statue, aren't we? Like every scene, I was like, where's the alien? You know, he's going to be in there somewhere.
It's like hunting for Easter eggs.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Chris Aiken says, too much? Hell no. Less plot, more murder. Yeah. I kind of thought, yeah, it's a little much, but then I also thought the exact same thing you just mentioned, which is, yeah, we've seen it so many times. It's not like is it really suspenseful anymore to only see it in the shadows? You know, the only thing I will say, and by the way, Aiken asked earlier, like why are they running on all fours like that? They've had that in some other movies, so that's kind of nothing new either. But I will say this, I it does look a little bit much like a dude in a suit to me this time around for some reason. Like, so
it's a big bastard for sure.
Yeah. You're the one that's always criticizing special effects. Like they filmed that on a volume. You could totally tell. Like this to me, like it's like a dude in a suit with like the big head on, or they CG'd the head on him or something. Like it looks a little bit like that to me. It doesn't take me out of it, but like the first thing I noticed was my very immediate reaction to the thing jumping. I was like, it's a dude in a suit. Like it just looked like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, it traditionally has been actually. And one of the things that's built into the lore is that whatever it hatches from, it kind of adopts its traits. That's why like the one in Alien 3 is usually on all fours and it's all spindly and shit. One, because it's digital and it's a puppet, but also it came out of a dog. Yeah. So it takes on the dog's kind of traits. And then like if it comes from a human, it tends to be more humanoid.
Yeah.
So I'll go with it. And especially because this thing is like 7 or 8 feet tall. I don't know how big this thing is in the show, but yeah, they said like it's incredibly strong, which isn't something that's always associated. Like weren't the ones in Aliens all like spindly and just kind of like they were more of a swarm than individual threats?
They were still really strong, I think, but I mean they did kind of say, let's, with a hive of them, you're basically screwed. So, but I don't think it said that they were like weak per se, but
they felt crunchy though. Like you could really like break them apart.
Yeah,
a little easier.
Well, and that's the other thing. I think the alien looks a teeny bit slick in this, like almost a little too perfect. I think. I thought you were talking about wet, because goddamn, everything in this universe is wet. No, but no, it's just a little too slick. But that could also be the whole digital age where everything is so perfect looking because of how it's filmed. Again, it didn't take me out of anything. It was like a quick thought, oh, that looks a little, and then back into getting into the story. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, those are really my only complaints about the alien.
What do you think about the other aliens?
So I haven't
talked about the cat.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Yeah, and if I'm missing something, let me know. But we haven't really seen what the little eyeball octopus thing does. So at least I haven't. So if it shows that, then I missed it. I haven't seen what the big upside down plant thing does. So that, and feel free to spoil it because I'm going to watch it anyway. It's not like, we still
don't know by the end of episode 2. It hasn't done anything yet.
Okay. But yeah, I think it's cool to introduce other things. I would like to say up their asses for using giant bugs. Go right to hell with the giant bugs. As soon as I saw
the bloodsuckers,
I was like, seriously, I'm already like creeped out by the alien stuff. Now you're gonna throw bugs in here? Like, what is that about? Like, that is just awful. Like, what the hell?
I gotta say, creepy as hell, but in like a good way. I love that they took the idea like, okay, so the alien is obviously the ultimate badass, but it's not the only scary, shitty thing out there in the universe. And this whole ship's whole mission was go find the scariest, shittiest stuff you can and bring it back to Earth.
Right. You notice that? Like there was nothing like what are, like I get it. It's Wayland Yutani. Like they're like super duper evil, you know. Yeah, that was a great quote. Kale says, presents as flora, but maybe fauna. Yeah. Yeah, I get that Wayland Yutani is like this super evil corporation and stuff, but my God, they just don't go looking for kittens and puppies, do they?
No.
They're like, hey,
the mission was not go make friendly contact with aliens. They're like, what can we use to murder everyone?
Yeah.
Go capture that.
And that captain guy, like the cyborg, basically was like, I mean, did any of those people know that they were just cannon fodder for the mission?
Right? Like, how could you not? Dude
That's
spelled
like
it
insane. Oh,
I'm trying to put names on this. Morrow. That's the guy's name.
Morrow.
The
Yeah.
cyborg's name is Morrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I gotta imagine that's probably a play on Dr. Moreau, the island of Dr. Moreau.
It could be.
I mean, they had the whole Peter Pan thing going on, and you know the Lost Boys and whatnot. So they're heavy on the metaphors in this.
Aiken likes the cat scene. He says, "Look past the unintentional cat spading. It was a cool scene." Yeah, I mean, and it kind of shows, I guess, like what like the thing basically when it gets inside, I guess it can control you. I would assume because it was controlling the cat corpse. So
that was yeah. The fact that it can reanimate corpses. Whoa.
Yeah. Miranda wants to know, do you guys think this series could stand on its own without Alien and Aliens? Yes, but it would require more backstory. I think that the vibe and the feel of this is really creepy enough to, you know, it's really good, but you would have to explain. Well, I don't know. Would you have to explain it? Because do you have to say, hey, the face hugger goes on the face and then the little alien comes out of your chest and he turns big in 10 hours and then starts, you know, or do you just show the big alien and then you still got people with holes in their chest? Like, how does this happen? And you kind of show it as it goes along.
See, that's so tough because like we have all the prior knowledge. So we're viewing it through the lens of, does this line up? We don't have that perspective of having never seen it to know if it doesn't make sense or not.
Yeah. You know, I think in that respect, I think it could.
Yeah, I think not knowing these details actually might help it a little bit because then you're just taking whatever they give you. And yeah. I think they did a decent enough job explaining, like, look, they had that opening crawl that explained cyborgs versus synths versus hybrids, which itself is new. So yeah, we're all on the same page with that one. And then as far as like the corporations and everything, that's pretty much new too. So I think most of what we're pulling in is just the visual references. Like we've seen the alien before, and we know what a ship looks like, and the fact that they stay true to science and that ships, you know, nothing makes noise in space. So when the ship hits the space station, you don't hear it.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I think it's pretty much a new story.
Yeah. And you know what, real quick, I just need to clarify something because I was a little confused. I know that synths are basically, they're completely cybernetic, but it's like a human consciousness, soul, whatever you want to phrase it, in that form.
Mm-hmm.
But cyborg and hybrid, I kind of was, cyborg is cybernetically enhanced human. So I'm thinking, okay, is, you know, the alien's still going to destroy them? We haven't seen yet. So what the hell is a hybrid? It's that just felt like the same as a cyborg to me. What am I?
I had to rewatch it and read that. So cyborg is you're a human and you got some robot parts.
Okay,
so that's more. He's a human, and he's just got that one arm that can, you know, turn into stuff. Then you've got synths, which is like Bishop and Ash and all the androids that we've seen in the series so far. Hybrid is this thing where it's like a robotic body, but they've basically copied the brain of a human and its consciousness over to the robot body.
Oh, wait a minute. So, okay. Oh, okay. So, like Wendy and, you know, her kind, those are hybrids, not synths.
Correct.
Okay, that's where
they are humans who were dying, although one of them wasn't, I don't think, when he was talking about his backstory.
He just accidentally shook hands with the thing. It was like,
Yeah.
hey, what the hell is this? Way to go, Joe. Now you're in a freaking robot. Oh, man. What's my body doing back there? You're a robot now. You're stuck.
Yeah, you're a grown up. Don't worry about it. That's how puberty works, kid. You didn't know?
Exactly. All right, so that's why I was confused. Okay, so basically, a synth is an android, cyborg is a human with robot parts, and then the hybrid is Wendy and okay.
Yeah, a synth is basically what Chat GPT will become.
Okay,
it's completely fake personality and everything. The cyborg thing introduces an interesting plot point, though. I watched the episodes twice. Because, obviously the aliens going around, the xenomorph, we have to be specific because there's multiple aliens now.
Yeah.
The xenomorph's going around murdering anything human, right? So the cyborg is still human, just has a robot arm.
Yeah.
So why doesn't Alien kill cyborg?
Well, I haven't seen it in position to do that yet outside of Morrow. And
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, he was being arrested, right?
Yeah.
And then the alien just killed all the humans and left him alone.
Well, but then that Elizabethan guy opened the door and he was like, oh, kind of distracted him. He took off that way. Mm-hmm. So that was that. Aiken with an interesting question. It says, are we going to find out that the girl is somehow a descendant of Ripley? I got that vibe right when the alien didn't kill her.
I don't think so, because I think this is earlier in the timeline.
Yeah. And also I get the feel that this show is trying and not that it's done this yet, but for some reason I just have this feeling about the show that they're going to avoid the obvious like that. Like, hey, this is Ripley. Like, it seems a little heavy-handed. And again, we're only 2 episodes in. It's an 8-hour show, so for all we know, everything could just go to hell in a handbasket. It could be like, for you, The Acolyte, where you liked the first couple episodes, and all of a sudden it just became trash. By
the way, FX did drop a video either yesterday or today. It's just a 1 minute this season on. So if you want the smash cut clips of what's coming up.
Gail McLeish quoting Black Sabbath. You don't want to be a robot ghost occupied inside a human host. Nice.
Well, didn't they use a Black Sabbath song at the end of the first? Yeah. Yeah. What was that song?
Oh God. Gail mentioned the music in the chat. It was us. What the hell was it? It was
Mob Rules.
Mob Rule. Yeah, Mob Rules. I was just about to say. Yeah. Okay.
And then the second one, spoiler, but not to ruin the series for you, but they use Tool to close out the second episode. I guess every episode ends with a song that has
so
no in-universe connection.
So we have a cat death and Tool. Fuck this show. I'm not watching anymore. On that note, we can close up shop.
Yep. There we go.
Yeah. All right. So Chastity Crawley. Hurrah for streaming networks introducing good music to new generations. Nice.
They're 1 for 2 so far. I agree with you on that.
So this was kind of interesting to me because it started out kind of, I didn't like where it was going just because of the portrayal, but it's gotten better as the episode's gone on. What do you think of the hybrids, at least the team of hybrids that goes, in search of Wendy's brother? What do you think of them all being like little kids, like 10, 12 years old, whatever the heck they are?
I don't mind it. I think they're really leaning hard into these big questions of like, what does it mean to be human? The typical sci-fi question about the human experience. And I think throwing a bunch of kids into robot bodies so they just have like superpowers basically, and not the maturity to understand it. I think that's a fun exploration. So, I mean, that's kind of it feels like it belongs in this universe. It's in line with the sort of things that they brought up on other movies and shows and stuff. So I'm good with it. I think Wendy's the most interesting by far.
Yeah.
Like, at least she seems to like get it. Maybe it's because she came out first, so she's had time to grow up a little bit. But the other ones are just like kind of stupid, honestly.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, that kind of tracks because, you know, they've said that Wendy was given all these extra gifts and stuff, and she's kind of like the Superman of the hybrids so far, anyways. Yeah, for me, the one thing I love about it is that you have a main character where it can't be quote unquote killed. You know, it's not like, you know, and that might take away the suspense for some people, but I kind of like the fact that it has a higher survival chance. You know, if you know the hybrids have a higher survival chance. That to me is a little cool.
Yeah, if you're going to be hunting down an alien, you got to have something for you besides plot armor, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no, but I mean, my initial reaction was they weren't showing them as being kids. I was kind of going, wait a minute, like they're just acting like, hey, search and rescue, whatever. You know, they're going on this mission with the, with the collector Hirsch, and then finally, as the second episode started, you know, progressing, they actually did start having them have kid reactions here and there, which I thought was cool because at first it wasn't really like that, and I was like, well, come on, like they're sending basically a bunch of little kids on this mission. That how are they going to react? This, Wendy's got all this extra knowledge and training and all this kind of stuff supposedly, but they didn't really say that about the others. So what are a bunch of kids going to do when they get in these situations?
I was wondering that, like they roll in on the scene, and I'm just like, if I was one of the actual search and rescue people, I'd be like, who the fuck are you, and what is your job here?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why are you here? You have no expertise in this whatsoever. And they didn't announce themselves as like, well, we're actually these amazing machines with human consciousness, so we can kind of endure anything, and that's why we're here. Like, no, they just rolled in as nobodies and like, fuck you, we're taking over.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick question: Have they determined yet if Hirsch is it Hirsch or Kirsch?
Kirsch.
Kirsch, sorry. If Kirsch, I'm sorry, Cobb Vanth. I'm sorry. So have they determined if he's a hybrid or? Yeah, at least I had the actor's name right. Have they determined if he's a hybrid or a cyborg? He's cyborg, isn't he? Or is he also a hybrid?
He's a synth.
Oh, a synth.
He's very proud to say that he is not human.
Okay.
So,
all right,
I don't know. I think Wendy was the first hybrid, so that means he must be a synth.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure. So there was one of those kinds of things. I was half asleep when I saw the first half of the first episode last night, and then admittedly was rushing today because I had to cram it in before the show. So
that's where the distinctions get vague, though, right? Because with Morrow, like, I thought the reason he was being so villainous and like mission at all costs, specimens are the only priority, blah, 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 is because he was a synth and he was programmed. No, he's a human who's just that much of an asshole. Right? Like the way he was just like, I don't care about the rest of the crew. They're going to die out in the hallway. I'll fuse the door shut. It's fine. I was like, okay, that's what a robot would do. No, that's just a really bad dude. Talk about drinking the Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah, I don't know. So, and I mean, let's just go there. I mean, what do you think of the characters so far? I'm a fan. I'm very interested to see where this goes with the whole Wendy and Hermit thing. You know, the brother sister connection. I think they've done a great job of building that up. Like I just the rest of them, okay. I think they're more kind of straight up. Obviously, you've got Bob Cavalier, who is, the trillionaire, and he's just, something shady is going to come out of him eventually. Yutani, obviously, we know Wayland Yutani. Kirsch, I think they're more like paint by numbers, I guess. The others, So I kind of like that they have this thing going with Wendy and her brother Hermit. So that part's interesting. And I think, it's really kind of the first time that you have seen humanity, I guess, on this level in this series. I mean, you get attached to Ripley because she's the main character, but it's really just because she's the main character. It's like, she's this ass kicking woman and, in a man's world kind of, coming out on top and stuff. But other than that, there hasn't really been any of that. It's been very bleak emotionally. And, up until Romulus anyway, because Romulus had, obviously some stuff there. But I think this is like the first time you've got that real emotional anchor that is kind of, they're really digging in with. And I like that. Where do you stand on that?
I like it too. I think, for the movies, you really only need one character to follow, and the rest are, like Aiken says here, every show has to have their red shirts. So yeah. So like in the movies, you get more of a gimmick than a personality for all the side characters. You always know like who you're following as the main, hero or protagonist. In this show, because it's a long form thing, I think they've got to spend more time building out those other characters. They haven't really done it quite so much yet. I hope they do. But it's only 8 episodes, so they really could get through with just, Wendy and her brother. Yeah. Wendy and Nemec just going on an adventure,
Yep. Speaking of
Jeff Gackery, to answer your question in chat here, Jeff, did you recognize that Hermit is Nemec from Andor? Yes, absolutely. That's actually before I even knew what his character was going to be when he showed up on screen. I'm like, you don't get a guy like that to be a one and done. Like, he's not getting offed in the premiere. Although he should have. The way that dude took that hit, jumping that chasm, he should have been dead.
Well, come on. Let's not go Jurassic Park Rebirth. Let's not bring back your opinion on that one. Smacking into a mountain wall.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. Like everything else in this show so far leads you to believe that everything is dangerous. People are fragile. They break and die easily. And then this guy just biffs it on a 15-foot jump while getting gashed by an alien. And he's like, scrape my arm, son of a bitch.
You just can't suspend disbelief all the way, can you? It's always something with you.
I'm playing by the rules of the show. The show had people getting gutted left and right with nothing. So then this guy should have absolutely.
He was in midair. The alien had no momentum to like push off anything or whatnot. It basically, if it was close enough to get him, okay, and it didn't.
Well, my simple rewrite would have just been alien grabs him in midair and they tumble to the other side. Alien breaks his fall, but then loses grip on him, and alien goes wherever, and he's fine. That's it. That's it.
Okay. Well, let me just put your SAG card in the mail right now. or Writers Guild. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
All right, but this does bring up the one major. Maybe it's a plot hole. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure they've addressed this, but do you have a theory? Do you have a theory on exactly how this show isn't going to break canon? The first movie is, what the hell is this thing out in deep space? We've never seen anything like it. No, it turns out that, the Maginot was sent out there to get this thing. So they knew about it a long time ago, and now it's on Earth. So how did the movies start with nobody knowing anything about this thing?
Well, I have an answer for that. Aiken says, you're wrong, John. Paid millions to make these movies. Do better. It's not messed up. They were jumping in the air, for Christ's sakes. It's not a big deal. That's what I'm saying. It goes back to my point about watching movies and some of these assholes watching Star Wars movies and sitting there like, oh, look at that. That's fake and this is stupid. Shut up. If you're watching it, if you're catching that crap, watching something like this, then you're not paying attention to what you're supposed to be paying attention to. So stop watching it. Go watch a documentary, for Christ's sakes. If you want reality,
No, I'm gonna cut back on that one. Listen, the soldiers barely made the damn jump, and those guys are trained professionals to do all that shit. This guy is just a little twig who signed up to be a medic, and he got intercepted midair. Should never have been able to make that jump and would absolutely be broken on the other side of it.
Adrenaline. He was about to get killed by an alien he'd never seen before. You don't think that that's the fight or flight reflex? As much as I'm saying, oh, no reality, but that's the reality. You're gonna freak the fuck out. You're gonna jump. Are you kidding me? I'm surprised he didn't jump through the whole damn wall.
Oh, so the soldiers were just chill as fuck, jumping over a chasm.
Did they have an alien breathing down their neck? No.
Nemec didn't know he had one either until he was mid-jump. It's okay. There's dumb shit in every show. It's fine. Anyway, my question was, do you have a theory on how they're going to address this continuity issue of alien is on Earth, but then nobody knows about it in movies that happen after this?
Well,
Chastity's got you.
Chastity
he pushed X and double jumped.
Nice. See, here's the thing. I think I'm trying to remember the plot points exactly in the other movies because I want to say that it's implied that they did know something was out there. So, but I don't remember them closely enough to really give you a specific example.
Well, Mother was definitely super interested in the report that they found something. So maybe that's based on this mission having found something already.
Well, I mean, it is Wayland Yutani. Maybe what happens at the end of this, like whenever the end of this is, I mean, who knows? They're going to have other seasons of it if it's successful. Maybe they kill it and they're like, somebody kills it and they're like, oh, we need more of those. So they send, these other missions out there to find it. I mean, you would have to assume that they're going to explain that somehow. I mean, I don't know how
you don't just make a show and be like, we're just going to blow up the canon. It doesn't matter. We're going to base it off this whole franchise, but we're going to completely wreck it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not worried about
Star
that.
Trek after all.
Yeah. Yeah, Kale, maybe he says they turned this into a Black Ops mission, highly confidential. I mean, it could be.
I mean, if it stays in the building and on the ship, then yeah. But spoiler for the 1 minute video that FX already put out, it doesn't. So
yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I have to assume that they're going to have an explanation as to how. Or even if not an explanation, you'll somehow on screen you'll see how the forthcoming stories that we've already seen can come to pass.
Mm-hmm.
That's my assumption because, like you said, otherwise they're just writing a show to blow up canon. And honestly, that's my fear with this show is that they're showing all these different species and whatnot. I'm like, and this is just because I hate the concept so goddamn much. I'm going, please don't bring predators into this at the end of this damn thing. That will ruin the entire thing for me. That will make this the biggest steaming pile of crap.
And they really are pushing a lot of Predator stuff lately, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about. And a lot of the fans that are that are into that franchise are like, oh, it'd be so cool if they, because no, I hate that concept. It's so comic booky. Oh, no. That's my concern.
I'm not even sure what counts as canon anymore. Like there's like Easter eggs and Blu-ray special features and stuff that mention the Tyrell Corporation. So this could be Blade Runner counts. This could explain how the replicants, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Yeah. How the replicants exist. This could be their genesis portrayed in this show. Alien vs. Predator had 2 movies. So they do apparently exist in crossover. Do those movies count towards this canon? I don't know.
I hope
Are
not.
they smart? And they going to take my idea that Jurassic World Rebirth actually shows the beginning of all this too? And I mean, I think that's just a gold mine right there. Just bring those two together. Why not?
Shut up. I hate crossovers like that, man. Even Freddy versus Jason. That one I could accept because it's so stupid and campy. But even that kind of annoyed me in a way. I was like, I just.
Yeah. It's better in comic books. You can get away with that shit in comic books. You can get Alien versus Predator. You can get Batman versus Predator, which has happened. I think there was a Superman versus Alien. Why not? Sure.
Chastity Crawley says, I'm here for sarcasm and annoying explanations of why things are the way they are. Chris Aiken says, it's TV. They will overtell and wreck the intrigue. Yeah, I mean, hopefully not, but I think history shows us that's quite a strong possibility. Kale says, I just hope it's a better explanation than Obi-Wan saying to young Leia, we never speak of this, to justify the message in A New Hope. Chris Aiken, maybe they land on the moon and Jason fights the alien. And Kale, hang on, what the fuck? Batman versus Predator? Yeah. It's
Dark Horse Comics. Look it up.
Yeah, that's no. Yeah, I really hope they don't do that. But in terms of, the canon question, I mean, they have to stick to it. Again, I think it'll be a major disappointment if they don't. I mean, if the other 6 episodes follow the path of this one and are as high quality, I think to jump the shark and basically say, well, this is outside of canon, this is a separate story, to me, then you're getting into the whole DC Comics reboot crap that you and I have been on record as saying that we detest. And again, if that's the case, that's going to make this show a pile of crap. Miranda Knights says, you mean we'll finally land on the moon? A little paraphrasing some Dumb and Dumber there, I'm assuming. So very nice. I mean, what do you think? What's your answer to that question that you posed?
I really don't know, because the only thing I can think of is, they keep it quiet and corporations can snuff stuff out. It's a boring and lazy way to explain it, though. I mean, as soon as you pitch a show that says, what if the alien was on Earth? Like, well, it never has been, at least not that early. If you want to say that when Ripley crashes the ship in Alien Resurrection, I love how that was the solution, by the way. The happy ending of Alien Resurrection was, well, we're just going to crash the ship into the Earth. And you see this giant mushroom cloud from space. Like, how many billions of people does she just kill? And that's the happy ending, right? Like, you see what this one little ship, much littler and less nuclear apparently than that ship did, when it crashed. Right. I don't even know what the body count is in this show already, but Alien Resurrection was more. that much we could be certain.
Yes.
And that was the good ending. Yeah, we beat the alien. But yeah, so maybe that's it. Maybe they just keep it quiet, keep a lid on it, and suppress all the stories and evidence. I don't know. I really don't know at this point, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I think that this is too important to the franchise, and more importantly, the franchise's fan base, to do something silly at the end. Mm-hmm. I think, I know that when this was announced, I have a couple buddies that are enormous Alien fans, and they were just like, they could not wait for this show. So I really think that I think they'll do a good job with it. And I think they're aware, kind of like the Favreau and Filoni thing. I think they're aware that the last few entries, fans have been like, I mean, Romulus was pretty well received, but you talk about Covenant and stuff like that, like, even Prometheus to a point, whatever, Alien Resurrection and stuff. Fans have kind of been. We
didn't get the third of the Prometheus trilogy.
Yeah,
it was a trilogy that we're just never going to know how that wraps up.
Yeah. Well, who knows how it starts, for Christ's sakes? That's my only thing. Like what is this goo? But yeah, I think they're aware of the reaction to the other stuff, and I think it seems like they're taking it seriously. So I don't see them, from what we've gotten so far, just completely crapping on what they've built. It seems like this is almost like kind of injecting new life into the franchise, kind of like a Rogue One type of a deal, and I think, Rogue One's a bad example, because at that point only Force Awakens was out, but I mean, where I'm going. Like they take it very seriously. They've started out very, they've done a great job with the first couple episodes. So I just can't believe that they're going to not make this a case of, hey, here's how this ties into the first Alien and why the subsequent films happen.
All right, so let me ask a similar question then. Instead of like, how are they getting out of this to not break canon? Do you think the franchise needed a show like this?
Yeah. Well, okay. I mean, does anything really need something like this? No, but it depends. Well, how are you asking the question? Like, was
Like the movie formula is pretty simple. People who don't know shit about these aliens are going to come across these aliens, and lots of them are going to die. That's the template for every alien movie. So, does this show need to be like you said? It brings something fresh, takes a new angle on things. So, do you think that was necessary to continue the franchise, or do you think it could keep cranking out more alien movies without broadening the scope?
No, I think in that context, I think it was necessary because they tried to flip the script and do something intelligent with it, with Prometheus and Covenant, and it was pretty much met with a wet fart. People, they just and granted, the delivery had a lot to do with that. It was not great, but
I'm still confused by those movies. I've watched recaps and summaries, and I'm still like, oh, that's what I was supposed to take away from that. I didn't get that.
Yeah, I'm like, what the, like, huh? What the hell? Like, it's kind of like the story in The Matrix. Like, I'm still not 100% sure of what the story is, but I have a vague knowledge, and the action going on around it is so goddamn good that I'm like, okay, I'm not really. Whereas with the alien stuff, I'm sitting there going, wait, this is what? That, huh? Okay, that's the big ship from the first. Okay, but what? Huh? Like I'm like wallowing in my confusion,
and
it's like taking away from kind of getting into the vibe of the movie. So, yeah, I mean, long-winded answer, but
yeah. We got two very similar answers in the chat here. We got Aiken saying need, no, probably only fun for fans of the franchise.
Okay.
And Chastity echoing the thing. Need the series? No. Need to pad pockets? Yep.
Pockets.
Don't you love that one of the things this show is doing a commentary on major corporations and their greed over everything else, and
corporations are all corporation-y.
and yeah, why is this show? Because money.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I think it is kind of needed, because I think that there's still enough juice in the franchise in terms of fan interest, but I think, like I said, like they tried to do something unique with it with Prometheus and Covenant, and it just fell flat. And after that, like you said, what are you going to do? You're just going to send people into an alien thing, and they're going to get their heads ripped off, and one person's going to survive, and okay, roll credits. So I think expanding on it is a good thing. It's, I mean, it could bring in more. They could bring in new fans of the franchise, because if people are talking about it enough, and there's people that have been on the fence forever, like, I haven't really seen an alien movie, and I never really was tempted to, and their friends like, oh, you really should. Well, now you've got this show, like, dude, this show's kick ass, like, gotta watch this show. Okay, well, it's on TV, it's not the length of a movie, and it might get them interested in watching the films. So,
yeah, I feel like this is a lot like Andor, where you take an aspect of the movies, which are very fast paced and simple, because you got an hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever, to tell your story, and just draw it out, and you got time to build characters and build the universe, so to speak, with all these other aspects. I just hope they don't lean too far into the cyborg versus synth versus hybrid, what does it mean to be human thing, when really, yeah, that's interesting, but we also just want to see some people get cut up in really awful ways by this stupid alien over here, which so far they've been awesome at. We talked about the gore earlier, but were you surprised by how much this doesn't feel like a TV show? It just feels like this could be a rated R movie that we're watching.
Yeah, it was definitely more splattery than I expected. So, which again, to me, is cool. And I was actually going to make a comment earlier. Like, I'm just glad that we're in an age where we're getting shows like this, and the Star Wars shows, where it's like the quality of a movie, but in episodic television form.
We
it's
really are
awesome.
spoiled with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we really are, man. That's a great way to phrase it, because like, we don't have to wait another 3-5 years for a new movie of these franchises that we like. It's like, oh man, we can get stuff that looks like the movie, but tell this longer story. And it kind of ties back to your last question. I think that's perfect for the Alien franchise, because it does need an injection of new life, and the television streaming episodic television medium is a perfect way to do that, because you can add more elements to it rather than, here's 2 hours of an alien on a spaceship killing people. Okay, well, whatever. Like, you can add more things to it. So yeah, I that's spoiled is a great way to phrase it.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant, because on the surface it's a very simple premise. Alien gets discovered, people make dumb decisions. It's the typical horror movie thing, right? Like, people don't recognize the threat and then they die for it.
Yeah.
Well, you can't make eight episodes of that. Like, even as much as we love watching the alien just eviscerate people, 8 solid episodes of where is it? Ah! Like, that's not a show.
Yeah.
So they had to do something. I'd never really thought about it before, but yeah, like, the robots have always been creepy. They've always been weird. Even the good ones, like Bishop in Aliens, still creepy, right?
Yes.
And so, like, yeah, that's a great little plot thread to pull on to, like, make a series about. It's like, let's dig into, like, robots, and, like, how realistic can a robot get before it's creepy as fuck. Like the average Joes in Alien Isolation, for example.
I'm glad you bring those up, because I'm actually pulling up a picture of one of them right now. Those things are just speaking of chill your piss. Holy shit, man. Those things. Oh man, are those things weird. And especially when you get the vibe when you're in the vibe of the game, like, oh my God, are those things messed up. And you can't kill them, and so you have to hide from them, and everything's dark in their eyes. Like, oh, it's oof, man. Let me pull this up here, because yeah, that's exactly where I was going with that.
If we ever figured out, like, streaming technology and your band schedule ever slowed down, that'd be a great, like, Friday night stream, is just playing Alien Isolation.
Oh, dude, I didn't get very far because I couldn't get past a lot of the average. I think they're called working Joes. But I mean, look at these things. Yeah. I mean, it like, when these things are just walking around and they've got their kind of robot voice, and you can't kill them. It's like, they look so simple, but in the context of the game, man, they are freaky as shit.
They look freaky. Yeah. Thanks. I know it's in my nightmares tonight.
Yeah, I mean, those things are messed up. I mean, I hope that they bring those things into this somehow. But by the way,
cool.
This is another Nerf Herder Council moment that's awesome for the audio viewers. I always got to point that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they brought these things into it, holy shit. But in any case, Miranda, it's just, he's hot. Nice. Yeah. Damn, I was gonna say something to your point earlier, and then I got sidetracked by the
working joke. Now I'm all sidetracked, because apparently, she's got a thing for anonymous blue men, and we got plans to maybe go to Las Vegas later this year, and that's one of the shows that we might see. And I'm just piecing things together now. I'm feeling very threatened.
and if you see the Blue Man Group, apparently, if they are working Joes, you can't kill them.
Right.
So you couldn't even fight them. They'll beat the hell out of you.
And they've already got pipes and shit, so they're already armed. It's not even a fair fight.
Right. They're gonna throw you in one of their steel drums. These big barrel things. Yeah. So, damn it, we always get sidetracked, right? We're in the middle of a good conversation. That one's my fault.
Chastity, a home wrecker. Quit giving her ideas.
Chastity, take her to the Blue Man Group. It's the Working Joe's group. Yeah, but no, you were asking about the gore. And yeah, like I said, it is a little more splattery than I expected, but I like it. Again, I'm a fan of gore, but again, I think it adds a little bit more realism to the thing. Again, because you a lot of the other alien kills, you just kind of see it do the little mouth thing and they're dead, whatever. But in this one, you've got bodies ripped in half, and like I said, the one guy, takes the little alien mouth in the face, and then when they roll him over, you can see how destroyed like the bottom half of his head is. Like
that was awesome. Like you said, we've never seen that before. I'm like, finally.
Yeah. I mean, it adds a layer of realism to it. Like you know the thing's gonna kill you, and but it goes back to our earlier conversation. Now you really know what happens, like why you're so screwed if this thing gets a hold of you. So
yeah. Do you think aliens have taste buds? Every time they use that thing, because we've seen them like drag people off to be like cocoons for more aliens.
Yeah.
But it seems like sometimes they just take it to the face and like, well, okay, they're just meat on the ground. Then they don't even get eaten or anything. Like, it's like sometimes you like offer like a carrot or something to your dog, and they don't like carrots, but they'll ask for it anyway, and you'll toss it to them, and they'll be like, "Ugh. Oh, what's that? Another this one's good." So like maybe that's what the aliens doing is they're just like tasting humans over and over again, like, I think human, that one's good.
I think they want Aiken. The neck thing, the sucking bug turned into a tribble. Nice.
Dude, that might have been the coolest kill to me. When that neck sucker and just like instantly, it's this big blood sack. I was like, oh man.
Well, I was wondering because when they rolled over the scientist, when they came upon the scientist's corpse and it was all dried out, I was like, oh, all the fluids got sucked out. What did that? So that was kind of, in terms of aliens having taste buds, I think they do. I think they live a life of constant frustration, and that's why they kill so much. Like they don't have taste buds. They want to, but that's why they kill so much. But you could see like whenever the little mouth comes out, they're drooling incessantly. It's like a dog when you get it around a steak, like it'll just automate, and the alien wants to taste it, but can't. So that's why it's killing so much. I got to taste the human. But it doesn't. Yeah. Now the chat has turned into how many people have dogs who like carrots.
Yeah.
That's crunch for us. Veli and Vito will eat carrots. Lila will not. So Chesty, someone needs Advantix. Chris Aiken, the aliens, they just aren't polite and don't clean their plate. Nice. Yeah. So anyways, the gore, I like it. It adds a layer to the thing. Which is cool. And is it necessary? No, but it kind of makes the threat a little more extreme, I would say. And I mean, and if you're going to show the alien a bunch more, why not show what it does a bunch more instead of just imply it? So
there are a lot of questions anyway. Like, so it murders some, it drags some off to be, gestation
host.
Pods, I guess.
Host.
Host.
Yep.
There you go. Thank you. I was completely blanking on words. What the hell? So some people get knocked up. Some people just get murdered. I don't know. Did any of them actually get eaten as food? I'm not even sure like what a xenomorph eats or whatever. So maybe we'll see some of that too. Who knows?
Yeah. See, these are the things like Aiken had mentioned earlier in the chat somewhere, like, the whole over explanation. I wonder if they're going to get into that in this show inadvertently. Hopefully not. It doesn't seem like it. I think there's more than enough going on to where they don't have to crap on the, as much as I don't have a problem with midichlorians. I was kind of thinking that while watching this. I was like, okay, like, there are some questions that we still have about the alien. Are they going to answer this and kind of just ruin the mystique? Is it going to be like for so many Star Wars fans, like the whole midichlorians or what the Force is? Like, God damn it, just leave it the Force,
Yeah.
Are they going to do that? And I think the answer is no, because they have more than enough on their plate to deal with in this show. But I guess we'll find out. I mean, I think I could speak for you and say you would not be a fan of that either. I'm guessing.
I do not want that. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. The thing I'm not clear out on, and I hope this is true. I don't think all the specimens are loose yet. I think there's still some other shit that's locked away in cages.
Oh yeah, there is. The one thing that tried to break through the glass. There's a real giant bug in one of them. I was like, fuck you, keep that thing in there. We don't need to see that. We don't need to see it. We don't need to see it. We don't need to see it. I don't need some goddamn thing coming out of the dark like in The Mist. Those giant cricket things or grasshoppers. What the God, I hate bugs. I hate bugs. Oh, I actually no. There's certain bugs that I like, and they're butterflies. And I say that not being an idiot, but we got a butterfly bush in our front yard, and it's starting to attract some really unique butterflies. It's really pretty. So there we go.
That's I've got a tree infested with lanternflies in my backyard, and that's really disgusting. So,
oh, you got to smush those things.
Oh yeah, there's like a dozen of them on my car every morning. It's awesome.
Yeah, you got to kill them all. Anyway.
Yeah. So, all right. So we've got episode 2. I will spoil the ending of episode 2 for you. Wendy goes chasing off after Hermit, who I think he just gets wasted by the alien and goes through a hole in the ship or something.
Oh, he dies? Okay.
Well, we don't know. He just falls through a hole into sparks and smoke and whatever's on the other side of the hole.
Ah, okay.
So Wendy just goes after him, and that's the end of the episode. So we have no idea what's going on with that.
There's definitely a lot of plot threads here that can be explored, which I think is kind of cool.
I want to stay on the ship. I want to see all the other freaky deaky stuff. The flora fauna and the eyeball thingy and whatever else they got crawling around there.
That's how they're going to have other seasons of the show. They're going to get through this one with just like the alien and the eyeball thingy. And then they're going to go back on the ship and go, man, thank God we got all the aliens. And then the big bug thing's going to blast out and it's going to go like cliffhanger to black. Like the next season's going to be that one. And they're just going to keep going back on the ship like some dumb sucker, and the new thing's going to pop out of the cage and wash, rinse, repeat. Oh my God!
No, I'm excited though. Like my quick wrap up was first 2 episodes are great, and I'm annoyed that I have to wait until next Tuesday for another one. What about you?
Yeah, I've loved it so far. The most important thing to me, I think, is getting the vibe of the original Alien and kind of having. I like one of my favorite things about these movies is the fear factor of it. You know, the actual terror of it. You know, that first movie, like I said, just absolutely scared the piss out of me. You know, especially like the false ending. You know, it's the first time I had ever seen something like that when I was a kid. And I like that this television show, especially if it's going to be on Earth, like they were able to achieve that. It's not just some action show that happens to have aliens in it. Like, no, it's an alien vibe, but with some action to it. And I like that. So I'm excited to see the rest. Again, I hope it doesn't get ruined when, you know, the alien is actually out on Earth and, you know, doing Earth things. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't say like, oh, I was pleasantly surprised, or I had no expectations for it. I was just like, oh, this could be interesting. And I thought it was cool. So I'm excited for it. And so far, so good. But I am with you. I'm very interested to see what they're doing with these other species. Cause I mean, that's something they've never brought into it. So it'll be cool to see what sort of different things, you know, they come up with. So, and how they all tie in, like, you know, are they all like offshoots of the alien? Like, are they kind of like, you know, brother from another mother type stuff? Or is it just, are they all solely different? Like, so it'll be interesting. So yeah, so far so good.
Awesome.
On that note, are we closing up shop for the evening?
I think we've pretty much covered it, unless you got anything that we missed.
No, I'm looking at the character list, and I think oh god damn it, that's that working Joe again. That was freaky. Oops, wrong screen. Yeah, no, that's everything. You know, we talked about, you know, the trillionaires and the species and the gore and this was a fun episode, dude. I'm glad we had a bunch of people in the chat. So it's always good when we get get the viewers actually chiming in and giving us their thoughts. So, yeah, why don't we close up shop for tonight? Once again, guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council. We will be right back here at these locations in 2 weeks. The date will be Wednesday, August 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have not already done so, and you are watching on either our YouTube channel or that of the Virtual Cantina Network, don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons and hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time we go live.
Hey, brother.
Yes.
Are we sticking to our show schedule subjects? Because I can say what we've got scheduled for the 27th.
I don't have that up in front of me.
Well, do you feel like talking about maybe some Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire?
We could talk about Goblet of Fire.
There you go. Continuing in our Harry Potter series, we're sprinkling in book 4.
Spoiler alert, it's my favorite of the series.
I think we're going to have a good episode.
Yes. So, all right. So, yeah. Wednesday, August 27th at 8 p.m., we will be doing Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So tune in for that. Again, if you are not subscribed on either YouTube channel, please do so. If you would like to score some Virtual Cantina Network swag, just go to tpublic.com/user/virtual-cantina. And as always, guys, if you want to get some awesome customizable Nerf Herder Council swag, as we've said before, there are a number of different logos to choose from, and you can put them on any color combination of t-shirt, all kinds of different stuff like, you can possibly think of. Just go to shop.nerfherdercouncil.com. AJ, looks like you want to share one last thing before we jump out of here.
Yeah, this just in. I just found a spoiler image from the finale of season 1 of Alien Earth. It's up on the screen right now. There we go. Great one for our audio viewers out there.
Well, apparently it doesn't die. So,
yeah, I guess, xenomorph in a meadow, not really that scary. Looks like he's chilling out, having a good old time.
They jumped the shark. The show's going to blow. Another
Thanks,
good one for the
ChatGPT.
audio. You're getting addicted to that AI. We got to do that again, by the way. We need another AI episode.
I know. I'm trying not to abuse the idea, but holy crap, was that fun. Anyway.
That was fantastic. In any case, all right. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Nerf Herder Council, guys. We will see you in 2 weeks on Wednesday, August 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time as we discuss Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Until then, I am your host, JT. He is AJ.
Formerly Drake Adams at 579 on Twitter, but I can't even log into the damn app anymore, so I guess that doesn't count. Find me on Blue Sky. It's the same, at Drake Adams 579.
I had to create a new Twitter handle because mine got hacked, and I don't know how because I barely used it. So I think mine's Dog Pound Jedi 2 now. So whatever it is, who cares?
Awesome.
I'm JT. He's AJ. And until next time, guys, we will catch you later.
bucket of bolts is never gonna get us past that blockade.
This bucket's got a few surprises left in her. Plus, me and Chewie are on it. Ain't that right, Chewie?
Hell yeah, you my nerf herder.
You my nerf herder.